Everyone in this life says that they're ready. They go wake up every day, brush the teeth, maybe walk the dog, eat their Weetabix with the idea that they are ready for what's coming for them. But you never know what's coming. It could be an astral projection. It could be a car crash. It could be a letter from a long lost love that was supposed to reach you 3 years ago, got lost in the mail, and it shows up and it's too late to attend the wedding, my friend. Too late to stop them and say, no, I'm the one who loved you. I'm the one who was there for you. That man will only give you sadness and STDs. But I tell you, my friend, it is in times like that where you must gather yourself together and say, I am ready. Not because I know I am strong enough to withstand what comes in front of me, but that I can adapt. I will encompass what comes to me, slime-like, absorbing it into my essence to become stronger from it unless I die. Heathendog's Tabletop RPG Fundamentals.
Thank you, Cartha. Today we'll be talking about GURPS 4th edition. Now, there was a Twitter poll. Before I go into that, you should probably subscribe. There you go. Yes, thank you very much. Now, there was a Twitter poll. Do I do 3rd edition? Do I do 4th edition? And on the last Legion of Myth live stream that I did, Tabletop RPG, I gave the pros, the immediate pros and cons, and over 3/4 of you said 4th edition. So that's what I'm doing.
I forgot to read your blurb. Oh, man.
That's all right.
I got it right here on the screen.
I know. Don't worry, I'll get yours.
I can read it right now.
No, it's okay. All right, the publication date. The very first and second editions came out in the same year, 1986. I want to note that Hero System came out first and was out around a year before that, about maybe a year and a half. That's true. Yep. 3rd edition came out in 1988, and this 4th edition came out in 2004.
Do you know why the first and second editions came out so close to each other?
I can imagine, but I don't know.
Okay, I was just asking.
Okay, I imagine because it was rushed, and then oh crap, we didn't playtest this thing long enough.
I was thinking maybe they didn't make enough for the first edition, and so like, oh crap, well, if we're printing a bunch more of these, we might as well do the updates that people are complaining about.
Okay, that could be it.
Guessing.
The publisher Steve Jackson Games, and the price for 4th edition. You have to get 2 books for the basic set. The set is characters and campaign. And these 2 books are $36.40 and $34.95, respectively. Characters, campaigns. On Amazon, you can get the PDF from DriveThruRPG for $29.99 and $24.99, or you can go to eBay to get both books, but they'll be anywhere from $60 to over $100, depending on shipping and where you are in the world.
Makes sense.
So it's a little expensive process here. But what else are you going to need to do this? Obviously, you need the books, the basic set, the characters set, and the characters book and the campaigns book. You need them both. Characters for building your character and all the rules and stuff, and the campaign for building your world. You need both things to actually play the game. You're going to need the character sheet. Now, you can, of course, scan it from the book because it's in both books. Or you can get the free PDF from the website, which is right here, and I will go ahead and throw that into chat.
In the old days, you would just use a pencil and a sheet of lined paper.
There you go. In chat. Throw that in chat so you can find it. And of course, you're going to need 6-sided dice. You're going to need at least 3, ideally more. If you go to your local comic store or you go to Amazon, you can get just buckets of 6-sided dice.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And or cheapest place to get them, wish.com.
Wish.com? Really?
Yeah, it's like Chinese cheap stuff, but you can get like buckets of dice for like $5.
Yeah, it's just dice. I mean,
yep.
Oh, the numbers rub off. Yeah, but I got 100 more, so who cares?
They're not bad quality.
There you go. And some kind of writing implement. Pencil. I don't recommend a pen because you're going to have to erase a lot. Like every RPG, you got to erase a lot. So pencil it is. Now, what you need to know, how to use a dice. You need to know how to use a dice. Now, these next things I'm going to tell you are things that you should know before you start any new tabletop RPG. Know how the system works, know how everything goes down, and know the world. That way you can make your character properly. So here we go. Your basic rolls. All right, using 3 6-sided dice for almost any roll in this game, except for damage. All right, any success roll, you're using this. This is how you do it. You, the player, wants to perform an action. Let's say you want to lift a portcullis. Let's say you're a giant, strong type dude, and you can technically lift a portcullis. So you want to do that. Okay. So the game master bases that action on a stat or a skill. Well, since there are no lifting portcullises skill, it's just basic strength. All right, let's say you have a strength of 12. Okay. You roll 3D, which is 3 dice, and all the dice are 6-sided, so there's no 3d6. It's just 3D. All right. So you roll 3 dice. You have to equal or less than your strength number to succeed. So if you roll a 10, an 8, a 7, an 11, you do it. If you roll a 13, 15, 17, you fail.
Makes sense.
That's it. Now, there are modifiers, of course. There's an equipment bonus. If you have a lever of some kind, it'll be easier to lift things. So if you have a lever that can handle the strain, you'll get a bonus to your roll. Instead of 12, maybe you need a 15 or under at that point. And there's a difficulty modifier. Let's say the portcullis is dropping and you want to catch it. Well, because it's dropping, technically it's heavier, so it's a minus. Instead of 12, maybe you need a 9 or less. And a circumstance modifier. That is there ice on the ground? Are there people fighting near you at the time? Are you getting shot with arrows or whatever? It's going to give you a bonus or a minus depending on the situation, and that's also going to affect your roll. That's basically how the dice work in the game. All right, now let's go to combat. All right, combat rolls. The player wants to attack. You, the player, you want to attack someone. Let's say you want to punch somebody. Okay, the GM bases that attack on a stat or a skill. This time it's going to be unarmed combat, let's say. So it's your strength plus your skill in unarmed combat. Let's say your strength is still 12 and your skill in unarmed combat is 3. So it's a 15. 15 or less is your base roll. You roll your 3 dice. And of course, just like lifting the portcullis, it has to be equal or less than your target number roll, which in this case is 15. If you get a 3 or a 4, it is an automatic critical success. He cannot defend against it, and all damage is maxed out. You do maximum damage. A 5 or a 6 is also a crit. I put an asterisk there because if your skill, if your stat and or skill target number is a 15, a 5 is also a critical success. If it is a 16 or higher, a 6 is also a critical success. Now, this also has no defense. You automatically hit, but you have to roll damage normally. You don't get the max damage like a 3 or a 4. Now, a 17 or 18 always fails. Is an always failure, no matter what. But I got a skill of 85. Like, sorry, dude, you rolled a 17. You failed. That's how it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So you always have a chance of failure no matter how good you are at something. Remember that. All right, now, you punch someone. You successfully punch them. Let's say you rolled a 10. So you got a regular success.
All right.
So the punch is going right to his face.
Yes.
Well, he gets a defense roll. Everyone gets a defense roll. Depending on how you're geared, you can have more than one. Dodge, parry, or block. Everyone gets a dodge roll. Just get out of the way. Just try and get out of the way. Everyone gets that. Depending on how you built your character, you may also get a parry or a block. All right. Now, as a defender, you roll your active defense, which is on your character sheet, depending on which of the three actions you decided to perform: a dodge, a parry, or a block. And your target number is on your character sheet already. So there's no formulating that on the fly. It's there. It's based on your stats and skills and whatnot. You roll 3 dice. A 3 or a 4 is a critical success. That means they miss. They hit you, but now they miss. A 17 or 18 always fails, which means they hit you and then you tried to dodge and you tripped over your own foot and went into their fist. They hit you again. Well, no, they don't really hit you again, but they still hit you. And that's it. That is it. That is the attack, what you need to know. Now, when we go into character creation, we're going to delve into what the active defense is derived from and try and break the game to where they only have a 10% chance of anyone ever hitting me. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and break the game.
Very nice.
To see if no one can hit me. I'm going to try and do that, but we're going to get to that later.
All right.
Now, that is the system. That's how it works. Okay. Now you know how the dice work. You know how important your stat and your skills are. So you can think of your character concept and apply your stats and skill points accordingly when building your character. All right. Now, this is for the GM. This is world building. All right. Now, GURPS has the both great benefit and great detriment of having no base world built into it. The game master has to create the world from scratch using these building blocks. Okay, now I've made my own questions that game master has to answer to start building the world. Think of this like a framework for a paper mache. You know, you have to build the framework before you can actually fill everything in. This is the framework portion. First question: what world is your campaign going to be in? Earth, space, another planet? Garthon, go ahead and give me an answer.
Earth.
Earth. We're on Earth. Okay, what era? Is it the past, present, or future? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm choosing again?
Yep.
I will choose a future.
Future. Okay, it's Earth in the future. All right, let's see what the second questions we have here. Okay, magic and or psionics. Are there any? Is there none? Is it low amounts of magic or psionics, or high amounts of magic or psionics? This is actually a two-part question for magic and psionics. So, Garthon, magic, none, low or high?
Low.
Low amount of magic on Earth in the future. Okay, psionics, none, low or high?
High.
High amount of psionics. Okay, this is getting interesting. Now, technology. Here's the last of our framework questions. Technology. It is in the future, but it could be a dystopian future after some kind of bomb, so technology might be low. I don't know. They could be just rediscovering steam engines. This is all up to Garthon. Garthon, what do we got?
Low.
Low. There it is. Okay. So we have Earth in the future, low magic, high psionics, and low technology. Okay. Now we got to do finishing touches. Here we go. This is the actual paper mache around our framework. The kind of society. Is it a dystopian future? It's like an after the bomb thing where people are rebuilding, rediscovering things, and mutant radiation. Radiation has mutated people to create high amounts of psionically able individuals and low amounts of magic. Or is it a utopian future? Something like there was a nuclear holocaust, but when people came out, they got smart and they created a brand new society that is free of strife for the most part. Or is it just anarchist? Is it like a Mad Max type stuff? Is it just everyone for themselves? Gas is king and your life means nothing. I don't know. It's up to Garthon.
It's a post-apocalyptic utopia.
Post-apocalyptic utopia. Okay. Now, the antagonist. There's got to be an antagonist. There's got to be. Now, seeing as how it is a low technology, post-apocalyptic utopia, there must be something that is going to disrupt this utopia. Is it an evil wizard? Or, in this case, an evil psionicist? Because magic is low, but psionics is high. Or it could be this guy figured out how to tap into all magic in the world. That's why magic is low. He's using it all up. Who knows? It's up to Garthon. Is it a rogue alien intelligence that survived the apocalypse and is now trying to bring dominance over humanity because it still hates humanity? Oh, yes. Or an alien invasion. Aliens came, destroyed the world, thought they were done, and left. We start rebuilding ourselves into a social utopia, and the aliens come back. Is it that? Is it something else? Up to Garthon. What is it?
It is a wizard who actually was one of the original humans who survived the apocalypse.
Okay. All right. Now, general goals of the player characters. What the GM wants the player characters to strive for. Okay. Help or stop the government. Well, this is a utopian government, so the player characters will probably want to help it. Save people. Save the people from this overlord from an earlier time, or change society from within. That's if we had the dystopian or anarchist type world that the PCs would want to change to make it a friendlier, family friendlier place. Garthon, what do you think the PC's main goal is going to be in this?
Their main goal is going to be to try to save people.
Okay.
And helping to rebuild the government as it is dismantled by the evil antagonist.
Okay, so in the beginning of the game, the evil antagonist, probably having the only bastion of high technology left, starts to just dismantle this utopian society to use it for his own ends, and the PCs rise up to stop this. First, they have to stop the evil overlord, and then they have to help rebuild the world into the super happy place that it was going to be before he came around.
I was thinking the evil overlord from the past has come back and he's disgusted by the utopian nature of the world, and thus he's determined to use his advanced magic and technology to destroy it, to bring back the world as it used to be.
Okay. And so the PCs are striving to stop him from doing this.
Yes.
Outstanding. Well, guess what? There you go. As a matter of fact, we even went to making the story just then. Using these answers like we did, now you can build a lore for your world, the history of the world. We got a lot of that right there. We got a lot of it already. There was an apocalypse. After the apocalypse, the population was seriously depleted. The people that were left banded together and created a new society. But unbeknownst to them, sleeping in a cryo chamber somewhere in an underground super high-tech bunker was Theodore Ramses Lowenbrow the third, the last of the German hierarchy. Okay, fine, whatever, doesn't matter. But he has access to an automated nano factory. He has all the lost technology he has at his disposal because he made his bunker to be apocalypse proof, and it was. And he is now going to take over the world to remake it into the world that he thinks should be, which is the world of long ago. All right, great. That's history of the world. Now we got it. The attitudes and dispositions of the people. Well, we got some of that. We have a utopian society, and everyone is treated as a meritocracy.
There's generally enough food. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, there's generally enough food. There are population controls in place. We learn from those mistakes, stuff like that. So there's never an abundance or a lack of anything. Everything is taken care of. That's people. Now, backgrounds of PCs. Without all of this, without all of what we just done, the player characters cannot make their own backgrounds because they don't know the background of the world. All of the PCs, all of their backstory is going to come from your world building. So if you build a crappy world, they're going to have crappy backstories. Nobody wants that. All right. Now, the antagonist origin and goals. Again, we have to flesh those out. We have to solidify those. We got a lot of it already. Garthar and I made that already. So we got a lot of it. The layout and feel of the world. Now you have to build how the world feels, how to describe it to the player characters once they enter it. You know, is everyone smiling? Is it because they're on drugs? Is this utopian society pharmaceutical based? I don't know. It's up to you. All good. And the end goal of the PCs, the end goal, you should know it. So the player characters can get on board with this. Don't let them make it up as they go along. Don't let them make up their own end goals. No, you have to put some stuff out there to, lead them down the path of where you want them to go, because that's how you're building your world. And you're done. And that's it. You've built a world using this framework and another couple hours of fleshing everything out. You've done it. Garthon, we built a world today.
We did. All fear the Lowenbrow.
All feel the Lowenbrow the third. So, having gone through all that, I want to go through the difference between third and fourth edition. Now, there are some differences that are of note. Like strength was vastly changed. Health was changed a little bit. Every other stat is exactly the same. Skills are basically the same. You know what? The changes are not significant or easily made between third and fourth edition. All right. There's a free guide on the Steve Jackson website to convert all third edition things into fourth edition things. It's free. And I got the link right here. I'm going to throw it into chat so anyone can go ahead and know it. There you go. And right, fourth edition, this is the most important part, because there is so little difference, and the differences that are there is a free guide that's only 24 pages, a free PDF that you can download right now to change everything over. It doesn't offset the cost of the book. The cost of the third edition book is less than half of what you need to play the game in fourth edition. Remember, third edition GURPS basic set was one book, and you can get that hardcover for $24.95. The GURPS fourth edition set is 2 books, and you need a total of $60 to get both books to play the game.
Yeah, it's still cheaper than D&D.
It's still cheaper than D&D, but comparing to itself, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Well, I remember
Yeah.
the old was it Champions third edition? That book was crazy expensive.
Mm.
Fourth edition was actually about the same cost, but
Yeah.
it was bigger.
Yeah, it had more stuff, but it was about the
Yeah.
same cost. Now, also, just like Hero, there are character creation programs that you can get for GURPS. Now, in the Hero system, for the first and second, I think third edition maybe, it was free with the book. You got a free CD with the book, or a free floppy drive, a floppy disk with the book. You got it. Once that came around, and then they started to charge $20 for it. Well, GURPS, same thing. You charge $20 for it. You can get it off their website, the same two websites that I linked earlier, and you can go and get your character creation tool that will increase the speed which you can make characters. But it's a lot faster than Champions anyway. Champions, I would say buy it. It's worth the $20, but especially if you're brand new to the game.
Or if you're not that fond of math.
If you're not that fond of,
Which brings me to the older champions are. There's too much. There's not too much math.
No,
Once you get it down, it's real quick.
Yeah,
actually.
Getting it down takes the several hours at first, and then you got it.
The tool for character creation is really helpful, though. I'm not gonna say it's not.
It's true. Now, comparing the time to convert your third edition stuff to fourth edition, or buy a third edition book and convert it to fourth edition, to creating a world, which you have to do anyway, conversion is easy. Conversion takes far less time than creating a world, which the GM has to do anyway. So I would say get the third edition. Don't get the fourth edition if you're coming into it brand new. You're going to spend a lot less money, and you're going to get 90% bang for your buck on this one. I have to recommend it. But the Twitter poll says I do this, so I do this. I'm doing fourth edition. All right, now, next time. Week after this. In fact, that's going to be during the monthly giveaway.
Ooh.
All right, we've gone through the rules and system of play, dice combat, and creating a world. All right, next we're going to make a character. We're going to talk about the point system, how to build a character from the point system, how to use advantages and disadvantages, how to use skills and equipment, and if there is in this world, magic and psionics are going to be touched upon. All right, but they work very much like skills, so we don't really need to get super deep into that. And then the week after that, we're going to go into example gameplay. We're going to do mock combat and non-combat scenario. And then we're going to talk about advancing your character, using experience to advance your character during gameplay. How do you do it? And what may or may not be the best or worst ways to spend points on your character. We'll get into that as well. That's what we got for today.
Very cool. Thank you, Heathendog.
You're welcome.
So any final thoughts you have for the people out there?
So far, GURPS, it seems like a game, but I don't know. I mean, having gone through so much Champions on this stream, you can see the past Champions stuff on YouTube and such. It just seems like watered down. I don't want to say theft, but homage. I'll say to the hero system.
Yeah, you can definitely get that idea, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, at first you could say they were obviously developed separately with different ideas, because there was no internet, people were keeping track of each other. The systems came out pretty close to each other, but afterward, throughout time, they've both been in conjunction. So I'm sure they've stolen ideas from each other throughout time.
Yeah. So hey, after this is all done, I'll say whether you should play Champions or GURPS. Oh. Looks like his headset was running out.
Yeah, I think my whole headset, the battery's starting to go the way of the Dodo, I think.
That's no good.
Yeah, it's old, but it's a great headset. It's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you think of this segment? What are your thoughts on GURPS world building? Do you have any suggestions for future anime? If you like this segment, please share it with all your friends and even your enemies. Come on. Maybe you can become friends because of it. You can share a fondue, discuss things, have a drink or two. Then you next thing you know, you're singing karaoke together. You realize you've been friends this whole time, and you just didn't know. And it's all thanks to sharing Heathendog. Thank you, Heathendog.
You're welcome.
Make sure not to miss an episode. You can follow on Twitch, you can follow notifications, and subscribe. You can say, oh my gosh, I love subscribing. What can I do? I'm subscribed now. And your life is better. because now you're available for subscriber-only giveaways when you watch it on Twitch. Also, with YouTube, you can subscribe with notifications. Ding, ding, ding! Yes! You can be notified every time a Heathen Dogma or any Legionofmyth segment is uploaded to the YouTubes. So you could take it through the internet, which we all know is a series of tubes, directly to your device of preference to witness it at your leisure.
100% true.
Thank you, everyone. For more Heathen Dogma, you can follow Heathen Dog on YouTube. He knows Heathen Dogma and RPG segments, team-ups with that Garthon Cat and Elgarian Maximus. Also, check out our past streams of Star Trek Online with Buck, Fats McCool, Monopoly Plus, many other games. You could watch Amnesia. You could watch Heathen Dog cry, which honestly is fun. And you can watch him stream Mondays at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Portal 2 with Elgarian. Oh, that's fun to watch. Past streams of Star Trek Online, those are fun too. Kurt take a little break from that because they broke his heart. Thank you, everyone.